Hello and welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to discuss adrenoreceptor antagonist. Let's discuss the classification in generally. The adrenergic receptor antagonist is classified into alpha receptor antagonist and beta receptor antagonist. And the alpha receptor antagonist has been subdivided into non-selective, alpha 1 selective and beta 2 selective, and their selectivity depend upon the receptors alpha 1 or on alpha 2, or non-selective that could be either alpha 1 or alpha 2 both. These are the list of the drugs. When we take a look on beta receptor antagonist, we have first generation, which is also known as non-selective, then second generation, which is beta 1 selective, then we have third generation, which is also non-selective, and then we have beta 1 generation, beta 1 selective, third generation. And the list of the name of the drugs has been given below. So when we talk about stimulation of alpha antagonist, we have to discuss their pharmacological activities. What are their pharmacological activities? The first activity that has been evaluated on the cardiovascular system is the decrease of the peripheral resistance, and as a result of a decrease of the peripheral resistance, the blood pressure will decrease, and it is also responsible for increase of the heart rate, and it is responsible for reflex tachycardia. What is reflex tachycardia? It is the form of tachycardia with having a rapid heart beating, and it is an increase of the heart rate to the stimulus of decreasing blood pressure. So if we take a look of the slide and we see that these alpha antagonists are responsible for decreasing the blood pressure. So with the decrease of the blood pressure, it triggered reflex tachycardia with an increased heart rate, and the message has been transmitted through cardiac nerve. And actually this is the feedback mechanism to maintain the adequate blood flow and blood pressure. So the blood pressure decrease, there we have mentioned, have very close link with the reflex tachycardia, and we discuss it. Then it also have standing blood pressure decrease. It means if a person is walking or standing, then they will be decrease of the blood pressure. Then also we have postural orthostatic hypotension due to the venous pooling in the lower limb. So what is meant by postural? Postural mean position. This word come from the meaning position. So in this case, the hypotension will be occur because of the venous pooling in the lower limb. What is meant by venous pooling? Actually, it is also known as chronic venous insufficiency, and it is a condition where the venous wall or the venous valve in the legs are not working properly, and it make difficult for the blood to return to the heart from the legs, and that result in pooling or concentration of more blood in the veins, and it is also known as stasis. What is meant by stasis? Stasis mean to stay at certain uh, level or certain position. Here venous insufficiency, or the blood will stay in the venous wall or venous valves. That's why the blood will pool, and then it unable to pump the blood back to the heart. So that occur. And why this occur? Because of the low blood pressure that we discussed. The other effect that they have mentioned is it can cause miosis, where the pupils become small. Then nasal stiffness is also occur. So it is also responsible for decreased resistance to the flow of urine. How? We have to understand that alpha receptors are present in prostate, and when because of the prostate hypertrophy, what happened that there will be difficulty with the flow of urine, and the urine will be unable to pass through the bladder neck. What will happen actually that the drugs such as alpha blockers, they mention here with alpha 1 blockers, they're responsible for decreasing the peripheral blood vessel resistance. They will decrease the resistance in peripheral blood vessel, and then it helps to flow the urine freely from the bladder neck. So that is very important. And why? Because of the receptor that is present in prostate, that alpha receptor that is present. And when we talk about alpha antagonist drugs, and we know that it is classified into non-selective agents and selective agents. And what is meant by non-selective agent? It means that it is responsible for blocking both alpha 1 and alpha 2 receptors. And the example in this classification is phentolamine. It is indicated for the treatment of hypertension in pheochromocytoma. What is pheochromocytoma? It is actually a rare tumor of the adrenal gland tissue that stimulate the release of more hormones, or it is possible to release more epinephrine and norepinephrine. And what happened that it is responsible for increasing the blood pressure. And when we discuss this, that the clinical manifestation in that case will be explained in terms of 5HS, meaning H for hypertension, H for headache, H for hyperhidrosis, H for hypermetabolism, and H for hyperglycemia. So what will happen because of the increased release of the epinephrine? What will happen that they increase the blood pressure and can cause hypertension. Then we have some more example like phenoxybenzaamine, which is also used for the treatment of hypertension in pheochromocytoma, and they have a long duration of the blockage, because we know that in pheocytochroma there will be increase of the norepinephrine. So what happened? They blocked both alpha 1 and alpha 2 receptors, and by blocking them they decrease the release of these norepinephrine, and then the duration of action is long as compared to the previous drug, which is phenethylamine. Then they are available in the form of capsules, and 10 milligram of capsule will be available in the market. Then we have selective agents such as alpha 1 selective, and the common example is prazosin, which act on smooth muscle relaxation, and it is a drug of choice for prostate. And as we know that in prostate there will be smooth muscle constriction on the bladder, so the drug is actually responsible for relaxing the smooth muscles, and as a result it helps to improve the flow of urine. And it is also responsible for arteriolar or venous relaxation as well. It is also responsible for reducing the blood pressure with little tachycardia, with little reflex tachycardia, as we discussed last time before that. By reducing the blood pressure, there will be the reflex tachycardia. So it also reduces the blood pressure, but the observation of reflex tachycardia will be less. It is also used for the treatment of the hypertension because it is responsible for smooth muscle relaxation. The drug which is available in the market is Minipress by Pfizer company, with 2 milligram is available. Then we have selective agent alpha 1 selective such as terazosin and doxazosin, which have the effect similar to prazosin, but they have a long half-life. So the difference between prazosin and these drugs is the half-life of the drug. It is also used for the treatment of hypertension and BPH, which is known as benign prostate hyperplasia. The drug that is available in the market, terazosin, is come in the form of under the brand name Hearttrain 1, making Abbott is produced by Abbott, with 1 milligram of tablets is available in the market. Then we have alpha 1 selective antagonist, which we have tamsulosin and dutasteroid. And actually, tamsulosin is alpha 1 selective antagonist, whereas dutasteroid is 5 alpha reductase inhibitor. What is 5 alpha reductase inhibitor? Actually, 5 alpha reductase inhibitor, the name, if we say it actually act on the enzyme 5 alpha, and by inhibition of the enzyme 5 alpha reductase, it is responsible for the treatment of enlarged prostate or hair loss, scalp hair loss especially. And actually this class of drugs have anti-androgenic effect, and it is used for androgen associated disorders. So we have alpha 1 selective antagonist, tamsulosin, and then we have dutasteroid, which is 5 reductase inhibitor. The drug that is available in the form of combination with dutasteroid and tamsulosin hydrochloride, they use in combination, and actually by combination of these both agents, they are responsible for benign prostate hyperplasia. The drug that is available in the market is Duodart, which consists of 0.5 milligram of dutasteroid and 0.4 milligram of tamsulosin, and they are available in the form of capsules. Then we have selective agent alpha 2 antagonist, the drug which is have high affinity to alpha 2 receptors. So what is meant by this? That means that they are blocking only alpha 2 receptors. Although the drugs in this classification have no clinical role, but one of the supplements, yohimbine, has been used quite often for enhancing the blood flow, endurance, improving the mood, and improving the libido. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Hope to see you again.